Roundtable. I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB, and man, we got the whole team with us tonight. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Today is August the 10th, 2021. Boy, time's flying. Oh, man. Hey, we didn't have our 40-meter net tonight. The 40 meter's been so bad the last few weeks, I just hadn't had the net. But I'm still looking for somebody who wants to call a net. Get in touch with me, and it'll free me up. Actually, I've enjoyed having the time off the net so I can get ready for the show each Tuesday night. So give me a call or shoot me an email if you're interested in that. Hey, if this is your first time to join us tonight, let us know in the chat room. I'd love to hear from you, and let us know where you are and that you're new tonight, and we welcome you. Also, if you're out there listening on International Shortwave tonight on WBCQ on 7490, we thank you for tuning in, and hey, send us an email to Tom at W5KUB.com. That's Tom at W5KUB.com, and tell us where in the world you are and how you're hearing the station tonight, and we'll get you a QSL card for $74.90 for the International Shortwave reception report there. Let's see. Hit the subscribe button. We need everybody out there. Please hit the subscribe button on the YouTube panel there. We need you. We need subscribers. Each subscriber we get helps us to rank our show a little bit higher out there in the YouTube world. And you know, when you're surfing YouTube and you're looking at certain videos, you know, the little videos on the left, on the right side there that's kind of recommended. Well, that puts us in that recommended side there, and people click on us. And we have about 30% of our audience each Tuesday night actually clicks on us just because they saw us advertised on YouTube. So please click the subscribe button there. We'd really appreciate that. Hey, got some sad news. I don't know if everybody has heard this. Mike Ennis, KB5YJF. Mike died this week from the COVID variant, the Delta variant of COVID. Mike was the manager for the production for Meritron down in Starkville with MFJ. So I talked to Martin today, Martin Jew, and Martin's having to kind of fill in, and it's a big loss for him down here. Mike was a great guy, and everybody couldn't say enough about Mike there. But he left us this week. Thoughts and prayers go out to Mike's family out there. We've got Huntsville coming up in about 10 days. We're still going, and we'll be webcasting the entire Huntsville event there. In fact, we will webcast all day on setup day. You never know who may walk by on setup day and get in front of the microphone and the camera. Sometimes we have a lot of fun on setup day, so it's kind of an extra day there. So 3 days of webcasting. That would be the 20th. That'd be August 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And hope tune in. We've got a lot of prizes out there. We've got many prizes out there. You can go to W5KUB.com, and you can click on prizes, Huntsville 2021 up in the menu, and you can see some of the prizes we've already loaded in there for you guys. And it's going to be fun giving away the prizes, so it should be easy to win. We've got everything from handy talkies to watt meters to magazines to you name it, we've got it. So that's going to be fun. Hey, let's go around the room real quick and just say hello to the people that are in here tonight remotely, and then we'll get this show started in just a few minutes. It looks like to me the first person up is John here. Hey, John, how you doing?
Good, Tom. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good, man. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. And
thanks for having me in.
You know, it's been a long time. We've had you on a show before, but we need to schedule something and get you on here
Definitely.
Again,
I'm just sitting down here in my little closet, as some people call it. So, hey,
Yeah.
just watching your show here. Usually on Tuesday nights when I'm down playing the radio anyway. So it's good to be on.
all right, we'd love to have you come on one night again and maybe talk about, fusion or, whatever you'd like to talk about. There's a lot of interest out there.
Definitely.
All right, who else we got out there? Let's see. I'm looking at Don Wilbanks. Hey, Don, how you doing?
Hey, Tom, thanks a lot. Doing great. First off, wanted to thank you for letting us do the Young Ham of the Year Award presentation here tonight live on Amateur Radio Roundtable. We normally do that at Huntsville and have since 1993, and you've always been gracious enough to include us in your webcast there. So what better place to do it remotely than right here on W5KUB.com and Amateur Radio Roundtable. So we thank you for that, and that presentation is going to be coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, and you know what? Looking forward to it, and we always look forward to the Young and Ham presentation. And as you mentioned, we've been doing it now for a number of years. In fact, it makes us think about Bill Pasternak still.
Yeah, miss him every day. There's all of us at Newsline, we run everything through the filter of WWBD. What would Bill do?
Yeah, and Bill, even though Bill got sick toward the end there and couldn't make it, he was actually going to be on a show. I think that right before he passed away, but he was able to watch. From home, he was able to watch the Young Ham of the Year presentation. Even though he couldn't be there, he was still part of it. So we were really just glad that could happen,
Yeah, he was always texting me right up until time to do it on stage at Huntsville, and it was just aggravating as it could be. But that's just Bill, and you see we've got his license plate hanging up here.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other one is with the person who took his place as editor-in-chief of Newsline over in New York. That's Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT. She has the one from the back, and I have the one, or she has the one from the front, and I have the one from the back. I think, or vice versa.
Okay,
nonetheless,
all right.
We've got his.
You've got it covered.
Plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, trying.
All right, let's see who we got. Let's pull in Katie and Dwayne next. How you guys doing out there in Montana?
We're not in Montana.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wyoming. Wyoming. Why did I say Montana?
You're not in
only been on the show. We've only been around for like 5 years on the show, Tom. But we're doing good out here. Thanks. It's good to see you. Lots of friends that we haven't seen in a while because of obviously nobody's been going to Ham Fest. So really appreciate the opportunity to help Don and the crew with the Young Ham of the Year Award tonight. And what else?
Yeah, and I can tell Don how to figure out who has the front and the back license plate. Look for the one that's covered in bugs.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's the one that, looking forward to the show. This is going to be a fun show.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Pass
great.
it back to you, Tom.
All right, great. Let's see. We've got Faith Hannah standing by. How you doing, Faith?
Pretty good. It's been a little warm today.
Yeah, hey, we're so glad to have you on here tonight, and it's going to be a fun night, and I'm just looking forward to hearing the story again. And I've got some pictures of you here we'll probably show. Now, I'm not going to show the baby pictures tonight, okay? Your dad sent me the baby pictures, but I'm not going to have the baby pictures on here, I promise you. Well, maybe
I actually saw him looking through them.
Maybe one or two. I don't know. Well, I don't know what we'll have yet. Okay. Well, hey, I'm glad you're there, and hey, we'll probably see you maybe in about a week down in Huntsville, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. All right. And Glenn, have we talked to Glenn yet? Or Glenn, you the last one here?
Well, you've skipped over Rich.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, see, I have so many people in here, I can't see them all on my screen.
Well, you want to do me or you want to do Rich first?
No, let's do you while we've got you now.
Yeah, get me out of the way.
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing real good. The new book is officially out. Don't know if I mentioned that last week or not. Those of you that are having trouble sleeping, there's a new sleep aid out on the market now from ARRL. And they're going to be bringing a couple copies to Huntsville, and we're going to be giving them out as door prizes in my Arduino forum down at Huntsville, along with a few other prizes. The Phase Dock folks are going to be donating one of their Arduino Phase Dock units. I reviewed that in QST last year, I believe. And there'll also be a couple Arduino boards as door prizes in the forum. So Huntsville's about 10 days away, and I'm ready to go.
All right. We'll see you down there, and get your arm ready to sign those books. We'll get you to autograph them there. All right, Rich. Come on in here, Rich. We saved the last for the best for the last year. Hey, Rich, come on in here.
Good evening, everybody. Glad to be here for a bonus appearance, the middle of the month instead of the end of the month. I'll be here then, too. We just finished wrapping up the September issue, so I'll be able to tell you about it in a couple of weeks. And I'm looking forward to doing the Young Ham of the Year presentation with Don and John tonight, and particularly with Faith Hannah. And miss not being in Huntsville, but it's seems to be the best option is to do what we're doing tonight. So glad to be here.
All right, we'll miss you there. We're going to try to go, and I don't know. We're going to try to stay safe if that's possible. All right, well, thanks, Rich. Well, Katie, why don't you go ahead and pick it up there and kick off this first great segment we have. I'm real proud to have this tonight.
Thank you, Tom. I am as well, and it's always a great joy to be able to be at Huntsville and watch our Young Ham of the Year on the stage, and all the people around that get to participate and watch as that person receives a great recognition for all of their work. And I remember one year we didn't make it to Huntsville, but watched it on Amateur Radio Roundtable and watched all my friends. It's a lot of fun. And so it's kind of like that again tonight. And all of you who are watching live on YouTube tonight, so glad you could join us. And for those of you that are watching after the fact, that's okay, because it's always a time to celebrate someone special in ham radio. And to lead off the segment about our Young Ham of the Year and to take it over, I'm going to pass it to my friend Don Wilbanks, AE5DW. Take it away, Don.
Thank you, Katie and Tom. We certainly appreciate you guys helping us celebrate youth and amateur radio tonight. Bill Pasternak came up with this award back in the 80s, and since 1993, it has been presented at the Huntsville Ham Fest. And this will be the third time since 1995 that I've not made the Huntsville Ham Fest. Only the third time, and only the second time that it's not been presented at the Huntsville. Second or third, I guess. We didn't have one last year either, did we? But anyway, nonetheless, I digress. Huntsville is the home of the Young Ham of the Year award, and for the safety of our winner and their family, we decided to do this remotely tonight. And it was by far the best decision, given how fast the Delta variant has blown up. And we certainly hope that everyone who goes comes back home with nothing more than they wanted to bring home, if you know what I mean. So everyone stay safe. And so with that, let me introduce to you first off the people who help make the Amateur Radio Newsline, Bill Pasternak, WA6ITF Young Ham of the Year Award possible, and that's our corporate partners. Yazoo USA for the last 35 years, CQ Communication for the last 25 years, Heil Sound came on board 11 years ago, and Radio Waves 9 years ago. And unfortunately, we don't have representatives from Heil nor Radio Waves tonight. Some scheduling difficulties, and just not able to put all of those connections together. But nonetheless, we do have Rich and we do have John from CQ and from Yazoo. And we also have Faith Hannah Lee, KD3 Zulu. Let me tell you a little bit about Faith Hannah. She is the daughter of James, WX4TV, and Michelle, N8 ZQZ Leah. Her brother and two sisters are also hams. She credited her parents with being her biggest influence in her entry into ham radio. She said her journey began at the age of 10 back in December of 2014. Now, you do the math, that's 7 years. 6 weeks after getting her tech, she had earned her amateur extra license. So, and to give you an idea of how fast this young girl has worked, her nomination packet was too big to be emailed. We had to ship it around to all the judges via Dropbox. It was 70 megabytes and 58 pages long. And just our press release was 6 pages. So I've tried to glean the cream off the top of those 6 pages to tell you a little bit more about Faith Hannah. 18 months after being licensed, she was invited to join the 2016 Dave Calter Memorial Youth DX team operating PJ6 from the Dutch island of Saba. Among those PJ6 achievements was a satellite contact that broke the SO50 distance world record. She wrote an article about that event, which was published in the March-April 2017 issue of the AMSAT Journal. In August of 2018, Faith Hannah took part in the week-long Youngsters on the Air program in Johannesburg, South Africa, where she participated in kit building and antenna building projects, satellite operations, and a high-altitude balloon launch. She wrote an article about her experiences in South Africa, and that was published in CQ. Back in December of 2018, Faith Hannah and her younger sister Hope, ND2L, and her father organized a 36-hour mini-D expedition to the Dry Tortugas in the Gulf of Mexico off the southwest coast of Florida. They activated November 4 Tango. The girls logged 1,970 HF contacts and 100 satellite contacts. And Faith Hannah's account of the N4T operation was again published by CQ Magazine. She's developed quite the writing credentials. She and Hope also shared the April 2019 cover. She completed high school through homeschooling, and before doing so, she enrolled in Daytona State College, where she earned an Associate of Arts degree at the age of 15. Presently, she's enrolled in Stetson University in DeLand, Florida, where she's recognized as a member of the junior class. She maintains a 4.0 GPA. No surprise there, as she works towards earning 2 different degrees, a Bachelor of Science in Molecular and Cellular Biology and a Bachelor of Business Administration. She has said she's exploring 2 career tracks, medicine or the law, or maybe both. And in 2020, she earned a $25,000 scholarship from the Foundation for Amateur Radio. And just last year, or this year actually, a $16,000 scholarship in the Voice of Democracy essay contest sponsored by the Veterans of Foreign Wars, finishing first in Florida, second in the nation. And of course, you can follow Faith Hannah, K3DZ, and her family and their activities on their hamradio.world YouTube channel, where they have nearly 13,000 subscribers. And somewhere on there is a short, just less than 1 minute video of her interviewing a cardboard cutout of me at Hamvention a couple of years ago. Yeah, it's a highbrow video. You really should watch it. So let's hear from the lady herself. It's my intense pleasure and great honor to introduce to you Faith Hannah Lee, our 2021 Bill Pasternak Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year. Faith, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really don't know what to say, because I didn't even know I was nominated until about a week ago when I heard that I had won. And that was kind of strange, because if you don't know that you're nominated, you don't know to even consider winning. So it was kind of a big shock, but it was a good shock.
Well, tell us what was going through your mind when you got the call from our Young Ham of the Year committee chairman, Mark Abramovich, NT3V.
So I thought it was kind of just like a regular interview. I thought it was like they're going to interview several people to help narrow down. But then at the end of the call, he said, well, I'm deputized to tell you that you are the 2021 Young Ham of the Year. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we have that audio on last week's Amateur Radio Newsline report, where you going, wow, that's pretty cool. And I think that's just like the perfect response. So, okay, Stetson University, is it going to be medicine? Is it going to be the law? Or is it going to be some other thing that I don't understand?
The main thing right now is medicine, but law is still in the considerations, because there's so much going on with medicine and law that they're so intertwined with like malpractice suits or stuff like that. So it would probably help to have the knowledge from both of them, since I do want to be a physician, but who knows? Maybe y'all like law better.
Well, that's what I was just getting ready to say, especially as far as malpractice goes. To have a lawyer who is intimately familiar with both of those disciplines, medicine and the law, then that is something that is fairly rare, because it takes a long time to get both of those degrees, to be a medical doctor and to be an attorney. So, yeah, that is definitely a long haul. So, let's talk about just what are some of your favorite things to do in ham radio? That's what I want to know about.
Probably the biggest thing is running a pile-up. For some reason, I absolutely love that. Especially if it's a huge pile-up. If it's just kind of medium-sized, it's still fun, but it's not the same thrill. I also like de-expeditioning, probably because you usually get the big pile-ups. And I like meeting new people.
Yeah, I have not been able to do a de-expedition yet. That's something that is hopefully on my bucket list one of these days. But I have been on the pointy end of a couple of pile-ups doing the Amateur Radio Newsline Amateur Radio Club activations. We have WA6ITF now as our call sign for that club, so we activate that from time to time, and also the Ham Nation special event. So yeah, it's a lot of fun being on the pointy end of a pile-up. And in fact, I'll put in a plug. The Ham Nation 500th episode special event is going on now through the 18th. All the information you want to find out about that is on the Ham Nation Facebook page. But I digress. Let's talk about your immediate plans for just what are you planning to do next? That's what I want to know. I mean, you've done so much already just in the short time that you've been licensed. What's next on your list? What haven't you done that you want to do?
That's a little harder to answer because there's so much that I could do that I don't even know how to make a decision. Sometime it would be cool to go to like one of the huge contest stations that are out there, especially, well, I've operated one of them remotely, and that was really cool, but it would be cool to be able to go to the station. I forget which station it was, but it was in Croatia. There's a couple big contest stations there. And I just think it would be awesome to be able to meet the people that you always hear on those stations and get to operate one of those stations during the contest.
Well, I'll tell you, Faith Hannah, you're living a charmed life to be able to do all of the things that you've done already so far, and that comes directly from your parents. It's an amazing family. From the first time that I was actually made aware of the Lee family, I believe we had all of you on Ham Nation at the time. And I was sitting back listening to all of you, thinking to myself, there's at least one or two Young Ham of the Year, future Young Ham of the Years, sitting right here in this room. And every time every year that I look out into the crowd at Huntsville and I see a bunch of youth that are out there, and there are always former Young Hams of the Year sitting out there in the audience, and also usually future winners of this award as well. It does my heart good to know that, and I say this every year, it seems like all of the press goes to the bad kids. The bad apples are the ones that get all your attention, but it's the good kids, and there are by far more of the good kids than there are of the bad kids. Unfortunately, it's the bad ones that get all the press. But knowing you, and knowing a lot of the other Young Ham winners that I've known in the last 25 years, the future of our country and our world is going to be in your hands and in the hands of young people just like you. And we're all going to be just fine. I like to say that every year, and I believe it. I mean, from the bottom of my heart. So, Faith Hannah, I'm going to turn the mic over now to one of the gentlemen who is actually on the judging committee, and that is Rich Moseson, W2VU from CQ Magazine. Rich, it's all yours, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations again, Faith Hannah. And it's a great pleasure. One of the favorite things that I do every year is serve on the judging committee for this award, because, kind of echoing what Don just said, the future of ham radio is in very good hands. It's because, we not only we celebrate the winner of the award each year, but there are other nominees who are also highly qualified and doing great things in ham radio. And it just gives me great faith in the future of our hobby to know that we have a lot of young people who are already taking on leadership roles in the hobby. And it's sometimes too bad that we can only choose one person to represent all of the young people who are doing great things. But I'm very glad that you are that person this year. I've known you and your family for several years now, and when we do the presentation at Huntsville on the stage, you and your family have been in the audience for quite a few years now, and I keep looking down at you guys and thinking somebody needs to nominate her because she's highly qualified, and I wish that we had the opportunity to consider her, and now somebody finally did. So congratulations. We are going to give you some stuff here. I'm going to have a certificate that is hard to see. I'm going to try to share my screen here and see if that helps a little bit. I can't get it full screen. There we go. Our art director was very creative and got your cover on there as well. And for those of you who can't read what's on the screen, it says, congratulations, 2021 Young Ham of the Year, presented to Faith Hannah Lee, KD3Z. You will be receiving from CQ a 10-year print and digital edition subscription to CQ Amateur Radio Magazine, a collection of CQ's books and CDs, plus both the 2021, 22, and 2022, that's hard to say, 23 CQ Amateur Radio calendars. It's a great pleasure to present these to you on behalf of CQ, and it's a great honor to be on this committee every year and to see who has the being nominated and all the great things that the winner and the runners-up are doing to lead ham radio into the future. So, Faith Hannah, congratulations again, and good luck in whatever you choose to do. And by the way, my daughter went to college starting to study equine science and has ended up as a lawyer. So, Don, back to you.
Very good. Thank you, Rich. Always a pleasure to share the stage with you, both in person and virtually. And another gentleman that has become a good friend of Amateur Radio Newsline since joining up with Yaesu is John Kruk, N9 UPC. John, good evening, sir.
Good evening, and thank you for having me on and allowing Yaesu to take part in the many years that we've been working with Young Ham of the Year award. And I just want to say what congratulations, and I think your name is so fitting, Faith. And the reason I say that is that in addition to working with Yaesu, I do work in public safety, and with COVID that's taking place, amateur radio became such a lifeline for some people that I've seen personally, that I've heard these stories about and everything, because we were normally out and doing Hamfest and doing events and everything like that. And because of COVID, we couldn't do that. We couldn't see our friends. We couldn't see the ones that we know. Huntsville not taking place in 2020, was a heartbreaker, because it's kind of nice to go and I get to see all my people down there and all the friends and stuff that I've come to learn and love and see. And this year, what I heard, hey, 2021, it's Faith. I've met you at I think it was 2018. I think it may have been at Hamvention, and it was just wow. It was good to hear that you won. And on behalf of Yaesu, we want to basically be able to still give you recognition and for you to have some fun with amateur radio. And I know you're big into HF, but you know what? There's going to be times where unfortunately we can't lug the HF rig around with us. So Yaesu this year is going to be sending you a brand new FT70 DRDE handheld for you for your enjoyment there. It's a 2 meter 440 centimeter or 70 centimeter handheld there for you, fusion capable, so nice to carry around there. But you know what, that's great for walking around, but sometimes you just need to go ahead and have something a little more powerful in the car. So we will also be sending you a brand new FTM 300D. They're going to be coming in the mail here. We have your address and everything like that. So you should see those coming to you maybe in about a week or so. So then that way, guess what? If you can't be by your HF rig, you could still communicate. And you said you work satellites on there. The FTM 300 is great for being able to do the full duplex on the satellite work there. So and congratulations, Faith. And you know what? Take us into the new decade, new millennium of amateur radio and help continue to make it grow. So congratulations from Yaesu USA. Don, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, John. Well said. Some nice hardware there. I know that you can probably, I know you can use that handheld in and around Stetson College, and you can probably use that mobile in your vehicle as well. So if you don't already have one in there, that's going to be very usable as you're getting started off in college. Unfortunately, we could not have representatives from Heil Sound or Radio Waves here, but we will send along their congratulations, and I'm sure that they'll be getting in touch with you at some point as well privately. But I think you've already gotten something in the mail, haven't you, Faith? You got a box in the mail over the weekend. Any of you opened it yet?
I have not. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to or if I was supposed to leave it.
Okay, well, I'm not sure if we should turn this into an unboxing video, but yeah, why not? Go ahead. Let's unbox what's in there.
All
and
right.
Don't worry, it's wrapped in puppy pads, but don't worry, they're clean.
Scoot back so I can actually fit the box.
So I don't know if you have any puppies there, but those are a couple of puppy pads that you can recycle for whatever it is you need to recycle into.
Or take it on your next expedition to the Dry Tortugas.
There you go. There you go. All right, let's go to a shot of her, Tom. She's cutting the box open.
This is Zoom. She's going to have to
okay.
say
She's going to have to talk. Okay, it's triggered. I got you. All right, well, I'll give you the play-by-play here. It's she's pulling it out of the box
Faith,
now.
just talk while you're
Faith,
doing
say
it.
something,
Yeah, just
Faith.
talk,
Yeah.
Faith.
There you
Okay,
go.
so I got to take out a whole bunch of packing peanuts. Not sure where to set them.
Just throw them on the floor.
I'll throw them on a table.
There you go.
That way I have little bits of confetti everywhere.
Wow. There's a lot in
Wanted
there.
to make sure that arrives safely.
Yeah.
Okay. So now there is a paper bag from Cheddar's. Am I supposed to open this? I assume so.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it's in there. It's in there. It's in a glass frame, so I want to make sure that it arrived safely. If the real estate thing ever falls through, I've got a great career in packing packages.
Yeah, but Don, sending it in the Cheddar's bag is really cheesy.
Oh, Rich. Shame on you.
Yeah, you had to go there, didn't you?
Absolutely.
I'm almost through the puppy pads.
Wow.
Okay, maybe I'm not.
Listen,
I thought I was.
listen,
There's another one.
There's two. I'm nothing if not thorough, believe me.
I feel like it's one of those things my sisters always wrap where it takes forever to take it out.
Oh, boy.
I've done that with my son, duct tape and zip ties and, everything else.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
just got it out. Right there.
There it is. Nice.
Okay.
Read it to
Oh,
us,
nice.
because I can't see it.
Yeah, so it says Bill Pasternak, WA6 ITF Memorial, Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year, awarded to Faith Hanley, KD3Z, in recognition of her total dedication to the amateur radio service, presented jointly by the Amateur Radio Newsline, Yaesu USA Corporation, CQ Magazine, Tuesday, August 10th, 2021, and then it has the names of a bunch of people from Amateur Radio Newsline, which is Don Wilbanks, and I don't know how to say this, but it's someone from Yaesu. It's Machenbacher. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we still have Dennis Motzenbacher's name on there, so, yeah.
And then someone from the Young Ham of the Year committee.
That's Mark Abramovich
Abramovich,
in
yeah.
NT3V that you talked to on the phone, yeah.
And then we have someone from CQ Magazine, which is Richard Ross. And
He's the publisher.
show it
He's
another
the
time.
publisher. Yep, there you go. Congratulations, Faith Hannah-Lee. You are the 2021 Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year, and I think that the judging committee just did a stellar job, as they always do. The cream always rises to the crop, and we are certainly humbled to be in your presence and honored that you're representing this award that Bill Pasternak started all these years ago. And congratulations, and we hope you have an amazing year as the 2021 Young Ham of the Year.
Thank you so much. And actually, as I forgot his name, was it John, was showing the radios, I was thinking, that could be used for satellites. And then you guys said it could be used for satellites, and I was like, yeah.
There you
Looks
go.
like it's going to be used for that.
Full duplex. That's what you need. That works the best. Well, all right, Faith, we're gonna turn this back over to Katie here, but just I wanted to again thank you, and I wanted to thank Yazoo USA, CQ, Heil Sound, Radio Waves, of course, our friends at the Huntsville Hamfest, who we will miss this year, unfortunately. Mark Brown, N4 BCD, the Huntsville Hamfest chairman, has turned into a great friend, and Huntsville's always been a great friend of Newsline. And we will be back next year, fingers crossed, and hopefully we all stay safe and healthy until then. So, Tom, again, thank you very much for your support over the years and for allowing us to do this live on Amateur Radio Roundtable. So, Katie, I will turn it back over to you. Thank you much.
All right. Well, you know what? I found out how to force the picture on Faith Hannah, but now I'm having trouble getting it back to everybody.
Now you can't unforce it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out here in a minute.
Sounds like it's time for a commercial.
Yeah, almost. Let's see. There's gallery view.
Yeah, the wide shot. There you go.
There's that. Let's see.
Now we all got to look like the Brady Bunch.
Yep.
Yeah, I should be able to go
Hammy
just to.
bunch.
And of course, Dwayne and Katie get the center square.
This is
Well, on ours, Faith Hannah's in the center.
Yeah,
So.
it depends on what you're. So.
Well, I have to.
Well, I got to tell you, while Tom is figuring that out, this is always the highlight of my year, being able to present the Young Ham of the Year award. I spent many years watching Bill on stage present it, and when that reign was passed to me, it was and remains just an amazing honor and privilege to be able to represent Amateur Radio Newsline and all of our corporate partners, and just furthering the cause that amateur radio is not an old man's hobby. I mean, we're going to be in some great hands with the youth of the world, not just amateur radio youth, but there's a lot of really brilliant, smart, cool kids out there, and they're going to be doing some amazing things here coming up in just not too much longer. Already are, actually.
Yeah, I remember meeting the Lee family at Dayton, and Michelle and I were both. Michelle is Faith's mother. We were both lamenting that we are attached to Famous Hams, and we get pushed off to the side, and so we just stood in the corner and talked while everybody else talked to the kids and to Katie. But I do want to say that Michelle and James did a fine job of raising the kids and educating them. And they've turned them into productive members of the society, which is something our education system is not prepared to do. That's up to the parents, and they did a fine job.
Whoa, now we're close up.
Oh, Tom,
Absolutely.
How about this, Tom?
No, stop that. Scare the kids.
All right.
Scares me.
I think I got it figured out. Almost.
Yeah. So meanwhile, while Faith Hannah is off doing all these things, I've been sitting in the corner reading crayons, as I usually do.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I've been watching her grow up for the last 5-6 years in Huntsville. It's always, what is she going to do next?
Yeah, exactly. Amazing young lady.
We're like all the
Congratulations,
proud.
Faith.
We're like all the proud aunts and uncles. Faith.
Exactly.
We've been saying that to her and all of her siblings since they were little. So we're the crazy aunts and uncles that are just. We try to claim fame that, we helped, but we didn't do a darn thing. Just cheerleaders from the side.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Faith Hannah, congratulations. You were a great person to select, and Wow. We'll see you in about a week. I know you guys have got a booth down here in Huntsville, so we'll see you, Faith Hannah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, can she give a plug for her booth? And
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And her company.
That's right.
All right. So I don't know which booth it is yet because
Well, I know.
I am not going to be there to set up because I have school that day.
Okay.
However, we're still trying to work out when I'm going to come up because, as I said, I have school and I need to work it out with my professors to see how we can get things done. But right now it's looking like I will be there for Saturday and most of Sunday. And yeah, we'll be there for Shack in a Box with our different Go boxes and battery boxes to show off.
All right, so here is the layout, and your booth is right here, where I have the little. I don't know if you can see the cursor or not.
That's a good spot.
Yeah, at least I can.
Yeah, we're gonna
That's a
be.
good spot.
We're over here. Here's the door. They moved the door coming down, and we're gonna be here. There's the stage, and you're right about central. Well, you're kind of centrally located here.
Yeah, she's right next to Gigaparts over there, so
That's right,
everybody.
yep.
can
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah,
Corner spot. That's a good spot.
yeah, it is.
Let me also plug that we're going to have Faith Hannah on Neil Rapp's Ham Talk Live coming up on Thursday the 19th. So check out Neil Rapp's Ham Talk Live. We'll have her for the full show. So we're looking forward to that.
That's great.
And in case somebody isn't aware, what's your website, your YouTube channel, Faith?
The YouTube channel is hamradio.world.
Perfect. So go check that out, everybody. Go like,
Will do it.
subscribe, follow all their great videos.
Right.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys are welcome to stick around the rest of the show. We don't know what's going to happen the next half of the show.
I can stick around for a while. Yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen. Rich was here the night that we were swatted. You remember that night, Rich?
I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So we don't think anything like that's going to happen tonight. The police department does know me well now, and they know not to come if they're called. All right. So
I am going to have to say 73 to everybody and go do some other stuff. So good night.
Yeah.
Faith
All
Hannah,
right.
Congratulations again. And this is always a pleasure.
all right.
Good night, Rich.
Good night.
Actually, I think I'm going to skate out of here too. There's some time. My wife that gets off work at 11 o'clock tonight, so I think I'm going to spend the next hour and a half or so working some of those Ham Nation 500 special event contacts. So I think I'm going to fire up
Or
the
doing
HF
the
radio.
dishes like she told you to.
And no, I've already done that. Hey, listen, I'm a house husband these days for the moment anyway. I've already done that. So I know what side of the bread my butter lies on. You just don't worry about nothing, my friend. So Tom, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Everybody, John and Rich, thank you so much for everything that you do for us, and we appreciate you guys.
You're welcome.
The whole ton.
And Don, it is recorded, and it's also on YouTube. It'll be out there on YouTube forever. And I'll try to split this out and just put just the Young Ham video together, and we'll post it separately too.
You can do that. I can go and grab it and pull the audio off of your Newsline. So that's not a big deal. I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
See you. Good night, everyone.
All right, everybody. All right.
Bye, Don.
Bye, Don.
Good night.
All right, guys. Everybody just stick around. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Rough wildfire season may be on the horizon. When natural disasters strike, cellular towers and power grids can quickly become overloaded and down. Emergency comms need to be instant, reliable, and allow interoperation with other organizations and agencies. Amateur radio provides reliable emergency communications with the added security of system redundancy. In addition to our lineup of amateur D-Star digital HF and analog radios, our IC SAT-100 portable satellite radio and the IP501HM LTE radios are an ideal solution for the additional coverage. ICOM's IC SAT-100 is the perfect handheld satellite radio for use outside of cellular or network range. By operating on Iridian's constellation of satellites, quickly and easily connect with other PTT devices, even from remote areas. The IP501H and the IP501M radios provide instant wide area coverage over LTE. By using an LTE network, you bypass the need for a pre-existing infrastructure, allowing nationwide coverage without the added cost of building and maintaining your own. Connect to all of these devices and more, even systems operating on different protocols, with the VE PG4 ROIP gateway. From land mobile and LTE radios to IP communications terminals and IP phone systems, they work together to form one seamless and uninterrupted network, ensuring your comms are received. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios.
LDG Electronics provides state-of-the-art antenna tuners for every amateur need. From QRP to QRO, fixed stations, portable and remote, an LDG tuner will match your radio to your antenna using our lightning-fast, proprietary tuning algorithms. LDG is a family-owned and operated company dedicated to bringing innovative, quality products to the amateur market. All LDG products carry a full 2-year warranty that is fully transferable. Support is only a phone call or email away. We're always here to help you. Visit us on the web at ldgelectronics.com. Okay, and we're back. Hey, that was fun. I'm glad we were able to do the Young Ham of the Year. It's exciting, you know. I've got some young ham pictures here from the olden days, some novice days I'm going to try to show in a little while. But first, let's go over to Glenn, and let's see what Glenn's got, what Glenn wants to talk about tonight. Glenn, go ahead and pick it up.
You really want to do this, huh?
Well, sure.
Don't let Katie mute me or anything.
All right.
As we all know, my book came out last week. And so we thought we'd put a little segment together on things that are in this book.
Okay.
And there'll be a test afterwards here. Of course, this is the new book. And right there on the cover is a USB keyboard for sending CW. So now you can, instead of using the old PS2 type keyboard, we've upgraded it to use a standard USB keyboard.
Oh, man, I've got to do that one. I've got the other one. I built the other one with the PS2 keyboard.
Yeah, well, you can't get those much anymore.
Yeah.
So we put a USB host shield on it for $5-10, and so now you can use your USB keyboards. And my next step is I want to make it Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But that's not in this book, but the USB CW keyboard is. But these are the projects that we've got in the new book. Most of the modern Yaesu rigs use that FH2 controller. It's a little handheld touchtone style pad, and we actually emulated that with the Arduino using a keypad. Then we also started playing with the Peltier coolers. So we've got a Peltier cooler controller, can also be used as a heater if you flip the chip around. Those of you that are from the early days, I think 70s, with the old Mercury Cougar tail lights with the flashing tail, we've got a rotator turn indicator that actually indicates which direction your antenna rotator is turning. We've got a position indicator, so it's just a light on a compass setting, so you can actually see in lights which direction your antenna is headed. Then we got deep. Working with Martin there at MFJ, he let me have an AR40 rotator controller, and I tore that thing apart. And so we built our own AR40 controller, and then we also took the existing one and modified it, and that was such an experience. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Then there's a USB CW keyboard, and this project can be adapted to a lot of other manufacturers. We interface to the Yaesu CAT display port and pull up the frequency of both VFOs and the mode and everything, and give you that on a TFT display. And then there's a new Arduino part that's come out, and this is you can get it in multiple segments, but I got a 16, it's a 4x4 keypad with 16 keys, and we interface that to the CDE high gain rotator controllers. So now you can actually punch in the bearing you want it to go to and just hit enter, and it'll actually rotate your antenna. So you don't need to use Ham Radio Deluxe or anything. So you can actually just set this up anywhere. Don't need a PC to do the automatic rotator control. And then we got crazy, and now you've got a handheld RTTY reader. So if you want to watch RTTY while you're out portable in the middle of nowhere, you've got a reader. So we've got that. But tonight we're going to dig deep into a peek inside the mind of a crazy Arduino person, which you have to be to play with the AR40. You really don't want to do this at home. The AR40 was really interesting because it's one of the older style. The design is, I think, late 50s, early 60s. It was a tremendous learning experience because the darn thing didn't work 5 different ways. And figuring out how to make something that was never designed to be computerized, to work with Ham Radio Deluxe and the Arduino was quite a fun and challenging experience for me. And it's amazing how well this project came out. Some of the key obstacles that we had to overcome, the control box power is completely shut off when the antenna is not turning. So how do we get our position information and things of that nature? If you turn it on by hitting the start button, the way the antenna direction control is, the relays, if it's off, you turn one way, and if it's on, you turn the other. There's no in between. So if you give it power, it's going to start turning. The position sensor is up in the rotator bell housing, but it's not like the later Ham 2 and Ham 3 and Ham 4 and that series. It's just a variable resistor, not a true potentiometer with a wiper. So you don't have access to that center pin to get your position information. The position control in the existing unit is done by using an op-amp to compare the position voltage coming in to the dial pot that's on the controller box. The modification that I came up with allows the controller to be operated normally as if you got it from the factory, and then you can flip a switch and be in Arduino control mode, and you can control it by Ham Radio Deluxe. This modification involves a minimum of changes and or trace cuts on the original controller board, so anyone can install this. It's really not that hard to do. It's like 5 or 6 trace cuts and about, adding 5 or 6 wires. It's really not that hard. Here's some of the modifications. So I said just a few circuit board traces and adding wires. We actually take this little relay board and mounts inside the side of the control box. There's just enough space to stick it in there. And that's got the relays, the transistor to drive it, and a little voltage regulator. We use a 1.8-inch TFT display externally. We interface it with Ham Radio Deluxe and any other rotator control program. It emulates the Yaesu GS232A. So any controller package that can talk to the GS232A can talk to the AR40 with this mod. And you can see the display. We actually show you the bearing in degrees, and it will tell you that the Arduino mode is online. So you know whether you're using the standard box or the Arduino controlled version. But this really made some head scratching. Figuring out that power sequencing turned out to be really tricky. Required the addition of that relay control board and the trace cuts, so we had to disable some of the relays on the existing board. But we had to re-enable them so that you could use the board as it was originally intended. So we had to come up with ways to work around that. Interfacing it to the position sensor in the politest sense of the word was fun. The word that I would choose is not necessarily fun, but it begins with the same letter. But there are some good design lessons and tricks that with Ohm's Law that really came to the rescue. Since I didn't have access to that wiper on the position sensing pot, that's up on the top of the tower anyway, I resorted to a good old voltage divider network to track this change across the position resistor. But adding that caused a nonlinear curve in the rotator as the rotator turned, so it made the position calculations almost impossible. Then I ended up remembering or relearning if you want to look at it that way, some of the finer points of Ohm's law to save the day. Now, anybody who knows me knows that Ohm's law and I are not friends. If it can make smoke, I'm going to be the one to do it. But this time, Ohm's law saved the day. As it turns out, the addition of the resistor at the top of the voltage divider I was originally doing was affecting the voltage drop across the rotator potentiometer up in the bell housing. By using a resistor value that's 10 times greater than the 1,000 ohm resistor that was up there, we bring into play that part of Ohm's law that affects series and parallel resistance that says a ratio of 10 to 1 or greater causes that second resistor to be little or no importance to the circuit. It's negligible. So I used a 12K resistor at the top of that voltage divider, which for all intents was ignored by the rotator pot. Of course, this dropped the voltage of the divider to a range of like 0 to 300 millivolts, which is far too low for the Arduino's onboard A to D to handle. So we brought into play my personal favorite, the TI ADS 1115 A to D. This is a 16-bit A to D with 6 programmable gain settings, and it has its lowest gain is 0 to 512 millivolts, and I got 16-bit resolution with that. So now we ended up with a highly accurate position value that can be directly mapped 2 degrees using the Arduino map statement. Got a little more complicated than that. We ended up having to break it out into zones because there was still some nonlinearity, but we got the thing accurate to within about a half a degree of the actual position. And then by using a relay controlled by the Arduino, this whole circuit can be switched in and out that isolates the divider and the Arduino from the original circuit, so we don't impact that original op-amp circuit, and it operates just as if you got it from the factory. So yeah, if your head's hurting now, so's mine. The nice part about adding the Arduino to the rotator like the AR40, the sketch that I use is the basis for all of my other rotator control projects. So you can modify this for just about any rotator controller, and it actually worked almost, plug and play with the AR40. The portion of the sketch that I used to communicate with Ham Radio Deluxe is literally a copy and paste from a previous sketch, so I didn't have to make any changes to that. And this is part of the fun. You hear me talk about the Arduino and how easy it is. I was able to reuse large portions of sketches from other projects and plug them in here with virtually no changes. And now we can do this. We can fire up Ham Radio Deluxe, point and click, and off our antenna goes and turns for us. And that's the peek inside my head tonight.
Wow!
Scary.
Yeah, that's cool, and it's really neat the way that you solved the problem where the potentiometer's up in the rotor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool there.
Yeah, that worked out really, really well. It took a long time to get that right. Several times I thought I was going to have to set the whole project aside. And at the end of the day, though, it showed that you can do this with almost any rotator controller that you can get at a Hamfest or anywhere. Even those old ones with the solenoid that clicks.
Yeah.
I've actually got one of those on the bench I'm going to be tinkering with and getting position on those and interfacing those to Ham Radio Deluxe. So it really turned out well.
All right. Well, let me ask you a couple questions about one of your other projects you mentioned, your RTTY reader. Is that automatic, or will it? It's been so long since I've been on RTTY. Are there any different speeds? Are people still running 60 words a minute, 100 words a minute? Are there variable speeds out there?
Yeah, there are multiple speeds, but predominantly everybody's still running the 45.45 baud.
Okay, 45 baud. That'd be your 60 word per minute stuff.
Right. The vast majority are still there, and that's what I coded it for. But it's a UART, so you can program it to use whichever you prefer. Okay.
So basically, it's set up to receive the 45 baud or 60 word per minute. That's what it's set up for. But you're saying you could program it
Yeah.
For different speeds. What about the shift? Again, it's been a long time. You know, when we started off, we were using 850 cycle shift, and then we went down to 170 cycle shift, and I think 170 kind of took the standard over the years. Are most people on 170 now?
Yeah, I built it for 170, but again, with just a resistor value or a little bit of tuning, you can make it the 850 shift, but I set it for 170. So,
and what type filters? I guess everything's done inside the Arduino for the filtering of those two tones.
No, I actually use the XR2211 FSK decoder chip.
Oh, okay.
And so it handles all of the filtering and decoding for you.
Well, yeah, again, back in the early days, early 60s, we built our own, teletype units, terminal units, and we bought these surplus 88 millihenry toroids.
Oh, yeah.
88 millihenry toroids had about, had hundreds of turns of wire in it, and what we would do basically, put a tone on there and a scope on there, and you take turns off the wire until you peaked that toroid, and then you had the mark frequency, and you made one for the space, and that was our filters. But it seems like technology now has replaced that.
Yeah, like I say, I think I can't remember if I did it two different ways. I have to pull the schematic, but I know that one of the methods I used was the XR2211, and that was just a single chip plug and play, and you're done.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, I've wound those 88 millihenry toroids and had to have that little scope so I could get the cross pattern.
Yeah.
And everything in there.
Oh, yeah.
And
all right.
And actually, somebody in the chat room is saying the 2211 is scarce. It's all over eBay. That's my parts supply, and I had no problems getting 2211s.
Yeah, that's Charlie down in Uruguay. Charlie is a regular viewer here on our show. He's with us every Tuesday night there. Well, very good. Hey, looking forward to talking to you more about the book and some of the projects. And I've been looking for something new to do. I might just break out the parts again and try to build up a couple of these.
Yeah, I may even sign the book if you buy it.
Hey, we might do that. We might do that.
Yeah, and what I'll do is, as you need stuff, I will put together a piece like this on every chapter so you can see just how crazy I was thinking when I came up with some of this stuff.
Yeah, it might be good just to discuss, a separate issue, a separate element of each of the chapters, of what you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, very good, dear. All right. Katie and Dwayne, you guys got anything you want to talk about before I get into novice pictures here?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that Glenn, I bought one of those rotators at a Hamfest. I paid $10 for the thing, and the guy says it didn't work. Well, I took it apart and I got it working. But you're right, that controller is old, so I might be looking into updating that controller.
It's a project for you.
Yeah.
And also, I've got a couple of these Orbitron 360 TV rotators.
Yeah.
That we might want to think about doing something for, because they're really good for lightweight. You can do a pair of 440s or a 2-meter antenna and get them right in there.
Somebody gave me one of those old original Cornell Dubilier rotator controllers. It's in the Bakelite Aussie box.
Oh yeah, that's the one I got. It's it's shaped like the old-fashioned little TV monitor they had in the 50s. Yeah.
And unlike some of the ones with that click solenoid, this is actually a smooth turn on that rotator indicator.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's one I'm going to be putting on the desk here and playing with.
One of the things that I'd like to figure out how to do is do some chopping so that you can ease into the target instead of run up and break, which is what most all our ham radio rotators do. They run up and break. But if it could hold the braking circuit open and then use a chopper of some sort and and slow down the voltages going to the motor, we could slow down and creep into our target.
I think what I actually do is I coast into it. I cut the power 2 or 3 degrees short, and I don't kick the brake in until it's stopped.
The trouble with that in Wyoming is if you got a lopsided antenna and you're facing broadside the wind, when you go into coast mode, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you'll find your antenna in Montana.
Yeah.
You find it pointing in a whole different direction if you hit coast mode. But if we allow a little bit of power to remain on it, say it's an AC circuit and we move it from 60 down to 50 down to 40, 30, probably 25 hertz, and then bring it to a stop, you'll have that motor under control the whole time rather than opening it up.
Yeah, I'm not so sure on voltage. What about, just doing like hitting it like a switching power supply and just chopping it like you were saying?
That's what I was saying. I mean, you can do that with your AC voltage.
Use an SCR instead of a relay.
Right, and remember that the AC, an AC motor will run the same speed at 80 volts as it will at 120. So it's the frequency that you're sending it that's making the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be done. Yeah, that's something to look into.
All right.
Yep, so you got food for thought. Katie and I are going to go upstairs and we got to take care of some things and get ready for tomorrow.
Okay. Thanks for being with us tonight. We'll see you later.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and glad. And congratulations to Faith Hannah, and really, really super excited for her and the whole family, and glad that they gave Amateur Radio Roundtable the opportunity to present her award to her tonight on the show. It was really cool. It was fun to see everybody again too.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all next week.
All right. Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
All right. Huntsville's going to be here, guys. Hopefully it's going to happen. This Delta variant, COVID, there's a lot of scares out there. A lot of people are looking at it. Right now, the word is the Ham Fest is going to continue, and I guess all the people looking into this think it's safe to do it. So we're going to go. We've had our shots, so we're going to go. Yeah. And I feel good about the shots. I don't feel good about the COVID, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of it out there, actually. But what I found out, guys, and I'll just say this is my personal opinion. Some people don't agree with this, but my personal opinion is the shots do work, and even Bill Brown will tell us that. Beverly came down with COVID with Bill there, and Bill had his shots, and he did not get COVID. And I've had friends here that came down with a breakthrough case of COVID, and the doctor they said, well, I had the shots. How can I get COVID? And he said, well, the shot kept you from going on a ventilator. So I really think there's something about that. So we made a decision to take the shots, and everybody needs to consider it. Look at your own medical history, talk to your doctors, decide what you want to do, and how you want to how you want to be safe. And I think we'll be okay. We'll carry plenty of hand sanitizer. We'll try to stay back away from people, and we'll pray that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking for the forums, they're going to have social distancing in there. So
yeah.
Forums aren't going to have a huge participation, but they're going to try.
Yeah.
But I'm still going. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, my gosh, this is the first Ham Fest I've been to since you and I went to Orlando.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it too. And hey, guys, let me mention. I'm going to take 2 minutes here and just mention it. We've got one prize here that we're setting aside for anybody who wants to help sponsor the expense of our trip. Just going down here is going to cost probably roughly about $800 to do the webcast for those 3 days. And if we can get some sponsors or people that donate a little bit, $5, $10, that'll sure help us out on a trip. We're going to set this mic aside for anybody that wants to donate. We'll put your name in a special hat for this prize. This is the Bob Heil. This is the Deco series, the Finn microphone, and this one is signed by Bob Heil. You can see Bob has signed it there, and it's a great microphone, and it actually comes in a carrying case. Look at this carrying case. It's got a metal carrying case that comes with and everything. The mic is in here. I'm not going to take it out. But if you want to help us out, just go to our website, w5kub.com, and click on donate. There's a little link at the top up there that says donate, and we'll put your name in. We'll put your name in that special hat. You know, $5 get your name in the hat for this, and there won't be that many people that actually donate money. So you got pretty good odds of winning this, actually. $5 to get your name in there once, $25 to get your name in the hat 5 times. So, you know, if you're interested, if you can do that, if you can help out, please do. But if you don't have the money or you're short on cash, don't do it. We're not begging for money in any way. We're going to go. We're going to have a good time anyway. And we've got a lot of prizes out there. Just go to our website, w5kub.com, and you can click at the top up there. You can click at the top on prizes. Let's see. The donate button is right there. You can see the mouse. That's the donate button. And then if you click here on prizes, Huntsville 2021, click there. You will see some of the prizes we've already loaded into the system to give you guys. The first prize there, of course, is the one for our sponsors. But for those that don't donate, it's not required. We've got a lot of prizes. Look at this. We've got radio sport headsets, Ballon Designs. These are the best Ballons you can get. I guarantee that. CQ Magazine subscriptions, DV Mega, if you're into you know, things like D-Star and Fusion and D-Star Fusion and DMR, this thing will do it all. Your call sign wedges, look at your handy talkies. We've got handy talkies, hats. You can get a hat there with W5KUB on there if you want it. They might even put your own call on there if you request it.
I'd rather have my own call.
Yeah, I think they might can do that. Ham Radio Deluxe has got several we're giving away. Bob Heil's donating some more prizes. There's some more headsets. We've got Cantronics has got 3 nice prizes. These are some of their modems, and these are valued at about $450 a piece. They're not small. Let's see what else we got. QSL cards, MFJ clocks, antenna switches, watt meters, headsets, SWR meters, keys. Hey, we're going to give away tickets. If you go into Orlando, we're going to be giving away tickets for Orlando and even tickets to the chairman's dinner. We're going to give those away. If you like a spectrum analyzer, R&L's donated one of the tiny SAs. That's a great spectrum analyzer. Here's one of the best SDR receivers you can get, the SDR Play. Signal Link, look at it. Would you like 250 feet of LMR 400? We've got it for you there. So just go to w5kub.com, and at the top, click on prizes or click on donation. But this is where you'll get information about our Hamfest and our prizes and what we're doing here. So. Okay, one of the things I was going to just talk about tonight, you know, this takes me way back. It takes me back last century. That tells me I'm getting really old. And, you know, if you're in New Ham and you've been in New Ham even for the last, few years, there's a lot of hams. I've been noticing they're just getting their license this year. But if you've been a ham for just the last 5 years, 10 years, everything's so compact now, solid state, and it's, works so great and everything. But back last century, back in the 20th century, when we got into ham radio, it wasn't quite like that. And it was much different. And we're going to have Novice. We're having Novice night tonight. We've got about 4 or 5 pictures of some Novice stations from the 1960s, 1970s, just to let you guys see what it was like back then. And yes, we did have to walk 20 miles to school uphill in the snow, and that was uphill both ways.
Exactly.
Both that was uphill both ways. So I just want you to know that. So we're gonna look at a couple pictures here real quick. All I gotta do is pull them up. So this is what a station looked like. This is what a ham station looked like. This is like 1964, and that's me. And you don't see a little small solid state transceiver there, that does it all. On the left there, I've got a SX140 receiver. And on the right, my parents bought me a really nice, that was a night kit, it was a T150. That thing would run 150 watts. It would do 80 through 6 meters, AM and CW. And it had a VFO in it. But here's the catcher. When we were novices, and back then everybody respected the FCC, and we were crystal controlled. We had maybe 1 or 2 crystals, and that set our frequency. And the nice thing about the receiver there, that was an 80 through 6 meter receiver. So it actually had 6 meters on it also. And the interesting thing about back then, I held 2 licenses at the same time. I held the novice license, WN5KUB, and that gave me my privileges on CW and HF bands. And I was WA5KUB, which gave me 6 meter voice privileges. So I could operate 6 meters voice, and I could operate CW. Now, back then, you only had 1 year, and Glenn remembers this, you had 1 year to get your license upgraded. You couldn't renew your novice license. You had 1 year to get up to general or tech, wherever you wanted to go. And that was it. So I think within a few months, and that was the good old days, because we got on CW, and boy, we knocked out the CW calls. I had friends all over, the state and local states nearby. We didn't work any great distances back then, but we had a lot of fun on CW. And when you work just CW, your CW speed goes up, and it was no time till we were up to getting our general license there. So that's what a station looked like for me back in 1964, right there. Let's see if we've got a couple more here. All right, this is a station here. This is WN9 SBD ARRL CW sweepstakes contest 1976. But it looks like he has a Drake receiver there. Now, I guess this is a novice station. I'm not so sure about this, but the thing about the novice station back then, we had to be crystal control, and I'm questioning a couple of these pictures here. But
no, actually, in '75, they were allowed to start using the VFO.
Is that right? Well, I never knew that, because I had done moved on, early, back in the early '60s. That's great to know, because I got another picture coming up here in a minute. And that brought up the question for me. So here we've got a Keyer, looks like a Drake transceiver there, and he's got it mounted in on a neat little console right there. That's and that's getting pretty modern for a single transceiver right there. That's kind of pretty. That's pretty good right there. So I guess I must be getting. Let's see. Let me pull up another couple here. If I can find them. Okay, here we go. Here's this is WN3 BAK, and this was taken to field day. They were using the call K3LR, but this was a novice station at K3LR, and it looks like he either has a HW100 or an HW101 there.
Looks like a 101.
Yeah, and again, that was not crystal control, but as Glenn said, in the 70s, I guess you could use VFO. So that was pretty good. And it looks like he's got a matchbox there, and he's got a bug for CW. Let's see.
Yeah, I built one of those 101s. Love that radio.
Yeah, he said he made about 100 contacts there. He looks really happy. And then we've got, this kind of reminds me of my era, but although it's getting a little bit more modern, because right there he's got a TS520S. Now I had a TS520. I had a TS520S at one time, and this is about 1980. But let's see, this is about 1980. He said, I think that was his dad's rig there, and he probably used it. Again, I guess novices could use a VFO back then, but you can see there he's got his rig there. It looks like he got some homebrew equipment maybe up there on the desk. But this is kind of the evolution of ham radio from separate transmitter and receivers into more compact. Now these were tube. This 520 was a tube transceiver. It was a hybrid. It was let's see. It was hybrid, right, Glenn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Transistors and tubes.
It was solid state, but it did have a driver tube in it, and it had two 6146s. And this is a 180 watt radio. And then the same with the HW101 or the HW100. It had a couple 6146s in it.
HW101 just had one 6146.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was just a 100-watt rig.
Is that right? I thought it was almost identical to the 100. The 100
had two tubes.
The 100 had two 6146s in it. I did not know that.
But maybe it was two.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that. I feel pretty certain they had two. I don't think they would have cut back on that. But anyway, that is cool. Now, Glenn, you got a Novice station up there. Let me bring your picture up. I think you got a Novice station right there. What's that, a HW16 or something?
That's an HW16 and the HG10 VFO.
Yeah.
I had these two types of radios. These are not the exact ones, but that was the HW16 was my Novice station, and it had been modified from the it used one of the TV sweep tubes, and the guy who built it had modified it for a 6146, so it did a little more than the 75 watts we were supposed to use. But I was crystal controlled, and the only antenna I had was on 15 meters. So I never discovered 40 meters until years later. You know, I'm thinking the same thing. I can visualize 16 years old, living here at home with my parents, and I had one dipole out there, and it must have been a 80 meter because it was long. I think it was an 80 meter. I don't remember ever having a different band dipole in there. I probably worked very few different bands as a novice. I did have a wire on the peak of the house. On the peak of the house where the shingles are, I noticed there was a nail sticking up there, and I'm thinking, okay. So one day I got me a piece of wire, put me a loop on the end of it. I think I must have used something like a long fishing pole or something, and I was able to get that wire hooked on that nail, and I brought it down next to our water meter, gas meter right there, and right up against the house. I had a vertical, and I think I made a contact in the Caribbean on that, probably on 15 meters, but I didn't work many bands with it. I wish back then I had known more about things like the off-center fed dipole. That'd have been a great antenna to throw up, multi-band back then, but just didn't know about it. Yeah, and I mean, if I had known what 40 would do for me, I probably would have found a way. But all I had was a 2-element 15-meter beam, and I had two crystals. What was it? 21.111 and three. 21.150 and 21.175, and those were the only frequencies I had, and I lived on that 111 frequency and worked hundreds of people on CW with that rig.
Well, yeah, because you didn't ever really listen on that frequency. You listened to the entire Novice band here for people calling you. So that was just as good as having a VFO almost, you know. I mean, I had a couple crystals.
20 KC up either way.
Yeah, I had a couple crystals. And I did have a 6-meter antenna homebrew. I think it was a 3-element 6-meter beam I built out of some conduit. And my dad was the chief of the volunteer fire department, and they came over with a fire drill one night, and they put my antenna up. The fire department put my antenna up, and I used to have fun on 6 meters. You know, back in the early '60s with the Sunspots and everything, man, 6 was a hot band. All the bands were hot. I mean, you know, and hopefully they're coming back in the next year or two. But we had a lot of fun on 6 meters.
Yeah, I didn't discover 6 until I moved up here, and I slapped a 3-element, one of the MFJ 6.2 and 440 combination antennas up there, and oh man,
yeah,
I hit one of those 6-meter openings, and that was it. I dearly love it.
Well, I had. You know, we had fun learning the code back then. We would walk around, and every sign we would see, we would key it out, you know, with our mouth. You know, there's a sign here, you know, dotty 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 dot, or whatever letters were up there, you know. And I had a friend. He was younger than me, lived next door, and we actually would communicate with flashlights, with code, you know, through our windows at night. And
Yeah.
I wasn't a very good speller back then, but he got the message, you know.
Oh no, I mean, I remember chasing an opening on 6 probably about 10 years ago. You could see it on the East Coast, and you know, word got around on the 2 meters repeater here that 6 was open, and we tracked that thing all the way across the country. And gosh, it was just absolutely amazing how long that opening held open.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hooked on 6.
I wish I had known more about antennas. Of course, when I grew up 16 years old, my town had right at 1,000 people, and there was a tech there. He had a big tower, and he was a tech, worked 6 meters. I went over to him one night and said, I want to get my license. Of course, he couldn't help me because he was a tech. Now, back then, if you were a general, you could give the test. You could give the novice test to anybody. If you were a general or above, you were able to give the FCC test. So he hooked me up with a manager of a radio station up a little town north of me, and got my license. And but you know, there wasn't much to learn from. Nobody really there. I got the handbook. The ARRL handbook was the best. Yeah. It was the best thing. All kinds of neat little projects to build in there, and we built our own equipment. And you know, we didn't have the internet back then, so to look up calls, you know, I think the handbook came out. Didn't it come out 4 times a year? I think it came out quarterly.
The call book came out 4 times a year. The handbook was
no. I meant the call book. The call book.
Yeah,
the call book I think came out quarterly, 4 times a year, and of course I don't know, whatever it was. You know, being a kid, you didn't have any money to buy it anyway. But luckily, my parents bought me a call book, and so you know, you'd use the same call book the entire year, or maybe 2 years, and anybody got their license the next month, or 3 months later, or 6 months later, they weren't in there. It was just like a telephone book.
Yeah, but they would send out update sheets you could get.
Oh, did you? I don't remember the updates, but it was so simple. You just look it up, and you look up WEN5KUB, and
that's how you got your QSL card.
Tom Medlin, and it had my address, and that's it, man.
Yeah, there was no logbook of the world or anything like that. It was, if you wanted a QSL card, you better hope they sent you one, or that you know, you had a call book to send them one.
Well, and you know, if you really look at people's QSL cards from back then, everybody looked like there must have only been 1 or 2 people that made QSL cards, because it seems like everybody had the same cards. They looked like.
Yeah.
And
I actually had mine custom made. I had a great uncle that was a printer out in California, and he actually custom designed my cards for me years ago.
But I ran into just this past year, and I've been a ham now. I was a novice, I guess, 58 years ago. But just this last year, I ran into on the internet the person that I made my first contact with, and I think I was his first contact. I dug his card up. I still have his QSL card. He has mine, and we hooked up on a Facebook group. He has a Facebook group called 50 Years and Longer or something like that, Ham Radio 50 Years or More. And I found him there, and we actually posted both of our cards where we were each other's kind of first contacts, and it was so cool to run into him after so many years on there.
Same here for me. I ran into one of my original contacts and one of the first hams I met face-to-face outside of my local friends that got me into ham radio. It's Gary, WB4YQR. I forget what his call is now, but we worked all the time. He lived in South Miami, and I lived up in North Miami, and we worked in 15 all the time.
Hey, speaking of QSL cards, I see people all the time on these Facebook groups. Where do I get my cards? And so is a good printer and blah blah blah. But you know what? I found I think it's you. I'll have to get it. I had some cards printed multiple times, and he used to give away prizes on our show. Let me go to.
That was the one you. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. For about, I think my last batch of cards cost me $70. Yeah. I got 1,000 full color 2-sided cards, and that included postage from the Ukraine. And it only took about 3 weeks to get them. And I'm gonna pull them up here in case anybody is interested in QSL cards, because these are some really nice cards, and let's see if we can. I'm gonna go back to 2016 and see if he has cards here. Let's see. I'll have to look. His name is I think it's Jenny or something like that. I'll have to get. If anybody's interested in that, I will have to get you. I'll have to get you the name of that. I've got the box in there. But for about $70, 1,000 full color cards, and that included shipment. And he'll help you lay it out. If you have some kind of a paint program or something, or a picture program, design your own card, whatever you want. He'll even help you design it. And they're really good. And hey, here in the States, most people, you pay $70, you get 100 cards.
Yeah. You
just can't beat these guys over in Ukraine. I don't know, I don't know if they're doing it in the Russian underworld or black market or what they're doing, but I'm talking, they've got machines over there that will print 1,000 full, glossy, matted color, both sides, 1,000 cards for like $70-$80.
Yeah, I got to get me some new cards.
You can't touch it. You can't touch it here in the U.S. Yep.
Yeah, I keep saying I'm going to do that.
I'm going to post, I'm going to post I might have to pull it up. I don't have it with me here. I'm going to post hey Glenn, do you have the link? Easily, can you pull up the link for the Zoom?
No, I can't.
Okay, all right. I'm going to have to open Gmail and get my link out here. Hang on. All right, I about got it. I've got Gmail opening up here. So I'm going to post a link, a Zoom link, and if anybody wants to join us, they can. All right, let's see. Zoom link, here we go. All right, I got it. I fix to post it in the room here. If I can find where it is. Let's see, restore chat. There we go. All right, here we go, guys. Here's the link for the Zoom if you want to join us tonight. Go ahead and give us a call, and we've got about 30 minutes or so left on the show, and we'll be glad to have you join us. All right. Well, hey, man, it's been an exciting night already. I had some great topics. Enjoyed it here.
Yeah. And one of the things I saw in the chat room, they talked about the HW8. I loved it when Heath came out with the HW7 and the HW8.
Yep.
They're little QRP rigs, and I actually bought the HW8 not long ago. It was broken. Interesting problem that it had. And it seemed to be a common thing with those HW7s and HW8s. They use these little hand-wound toroids in the final amplifier tuning. And apparently, if those radios are involved near a lightning strike or in a lightning strike, the toroid would actually change value. The ferrous part of the toroid would change its value, and you have to replace that. And I actually got in there and had one that was on, I think my 40 meter output was down, and I replaced that toroid and got it back together.
All right.
I've never seen a toroid to go bad.
Hello, Rich. Are you there, Rich? Well, Rich,
you're muted, Rich, or he's still coming on board.
He, I signed him in, but I don't. Is he there?
Hey, Rich.
Can you hear us?
So I'm on mute, but
I don't know. Rich is up at Military Academy up in, is it Michigan? I think it's Michigan.
So
he used to have the recruits go in here and they would watch us on Tuesday night
I remember that.
On a big 20-foot screen. They'd watch us here, so I thought that was pretty cool, man.
Yeah. So anyway, I've got the HW8 put back together, and now I'm going to add an Arduino with a display to it.
Yeah.
And modify, bring it up to the 21st century.
Well, yeah. Well, that would be cool. All right, guys, if you want to join us, I posted the Zoom link in the room. Just click on that link and you can join the show. We'd love to have you tonight. If you're out there listening on shortwave on 7490, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to tom@w5kub.com. This program you're listening to is all about ham radio, amateur radio, and we'd love to have you in with us.
I don't know. We got that microphone hooked up yet?
There you go.
There's Rich. There's Rich, I think.
I redid my whole setup here, and I forgot to plug the microphone in.
Yeah, well, that electrons and microphones don't like to walk across tables and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just using an old BM800. I guess it's good enough.
All right. Are you up at the academy or are you at home?
Yeah, in Wisconsin, not Michigan.
Oh, Wisconsin. That's right. Wisconsin.
Close enough.
That's WI, right? Wisconsin?
Yes, WI.
And Michigan is MI. It's just, I had it upside down.
Yeah,
an M is just a W upside down.
Yeah, that's right. I just had it upside down. Wisconsin. All right. Michigan is MI. It's just, I had it upside down. I'm a little surprised. There we go. We got somebody. Let's see.
Yeah,
Charlie. I figured Charlie might join us. Yeah, that's good. Charlie's in here from Uruguay.
There he is.
Hello, Charlie.
I figured Charlie might. Here, muted.
Hello, Charlie. I should say, ¿Cómo está usted?
Muy bien, estoy muy bien.
Hello.
Oh my God! Let's bring back my high school Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, muted. Hello, Charlie. I should say, ¿Cómo está usted?
Okay, I'm hearing a little bit. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. Somebody has
Dos cervezas, por favor.
Yeah. So Charlie, me no como perro, no como gato.
Hearing a little bit of feedback. Somebody has dos cervezas.
Somebody's got the YouTube.
So Charlie,
Let's see if we can.
Charlie, me no como perro, no como gato.
Can we tell who that is? Is that Rick? Do you have audio on from the webcast?
No, I don't have my YouTube going anymore.
No, I mean Rick. There's a
Rick. Do you have audio on from
me?
No. Yeah, Rick Follis.
No.
Are you? Do you have audio coming in off the video? Can you mute the video player?
Just turn the YouTube off.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. All right. Do we lose Charlie?
No, I'm here.
He's still there. He's still there.
Yeah, I was waiting for the all this chaos to.
Yeah.
Good luck on wading through that.
Oh yeah.
So,
all right.
yeah.
Well, how you doing tonight, Charlie?
Fine, excellent. Really great show with Faith. It's incredible the achievements she made, and I don't follow their channel like too often, but I've watched some of their videos since they were very young. Moreover, my kids also watch some of the videos too. So when she was on the show tonight, I called my son and showed him and he recognized her. And I told him how she achieved what she achieved, right? So that was amazing. And also the stories about the way that the hobby was some time ago. Like today, you buy everything and everything works. But my dad used to tell me that I have a problem here with the computer connector, but there it goes. My dad used to tell me how he had to buy. For example, he once bought an 807 tube, and he looked at it like it was something really, really precious. And,
Wow. Hey, 807 was a beautiful little tube, man, and that was a 6-volt tube. They made a tube called a 1625, which a 1625 is the same as an 807, but it had a 12-volt filament. So you could get it either way, but that was a cool military surplus tube, and you could get them just about anywhere.
Now at his house, my dad passed away in May, but now we were looking in his house, and he has like a box full of 807s and brand new. So, but now you don't use them, just if you homebrew your stuff. But
But also, and I don't know if this is worldwide or not, but the 807 had a different name. It meant something different back time period of being a ham. Do you know what the other definition for an 807 was?
No.
It's a beer. So if you hear hams in the United States talking about, let's go out and you want an 807, they were talking about beer.
Okay.
It was a very popular tube, the 807.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me bring us into the 21st century again for just a minute, Charlie. You were talking about the XR2211 chip being hard to find?
Yeah. Maybe nowadays it's back, but I tried to get hold of it some time ago, and I don't know, it was difficult. Maybe through the DigiKey or Mouser. I don't know.
I go. eBay's where I go for all my parts now.
Yeah,
but also,
but they're maybe you don't always get what you think you're getting.
Actually, I've had no problems with eBay parts. But also in that circuit, if you don't do the 2211, I did design it also with the 567 tone decoder, so you can build it either way.
Either way, yeah, I have a 2211 decoder, and I used to. I used it a long time ago with in the PC era. My brother made the software and I made the hardware, and we decoded RTTY with the.
Yeah. Well, this one really took me all the way back to my roots. I was first published in 1979 in Kilobaud magazine for a RIDI project involving a UART and I believe the 2211 with the old RCA 1802 microprocessor years and years back. And with the Arduino, I revisited that because I just found a programmable UART that interfaces directly to the Arduino. So now I was like, oh man, this is taking that project I did in '79. Let's bring it forward. What, 42 years?
Yeah, but and still the same concepts and same design flow. It's the same.
Yeah, it was identical. So yeah,
it's the same.
Very cool. It was fun to do that project.
Yeah, and I was in a part of your description of the control of the exactly. I had a same problem with. I was going to show Alan. I'm working in a small PCB that I had to do a couple of current sources. The way he made them for the calibration of the Simpson VOM.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, I need to use an old style analog joystick, which is a couple of potentiometers, but it uses only the variable resistor. It doesn't have the three. You don't have the separate wiper. You have only a variable resistor. So I had that problem. In the Arduino, you get a non-linear input.
Exactly.
But I did what I did is to use a current source and send a fixed value of current through the resistor, so I had a linear voltage in the output. So, and that's good if you have also a long length of cable that can mitigate for the losses in the cable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's a way to do it. But it was fun because I made the current source the same way. Based on the circuits Alan posted for the current sources for calibrating the Simpson meter.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes, and I just wanted to do mine in software, so I broke it down. I took the 360 degrees of rotation and broke it down into it ended up being about 45 degree zones. So every 45 degrees I changed to a different set of calibration values.
Right, like having a table. You can have a table a lookup table. Yeah, a lookup table.
Adjusted for the non-linearity that way.
Yeah. This is also a project I'm making for with my brother, and he's more the software guy, and I'm more the hardware guy, and it's really interesting because we were deciding what to do, and the first thing we said, okay, let's do our lookup table, but then we said we have a different value of variable. And all the lookup table you have to calibrate the lookup table every time. Yeah, the other way you're fine. It's easier. So because you have a linear you need one value to calibrate.
Yeah,
and not the whole table.
And but it actually worked out real well with the AR40. and it got it super accurate. I mean, realistically, when you're dealing with mechanics and turning and the wind and age and everything else, you're lucky to get within a degree or two to begin with.
You don't need any more because the antenna is not that direction.
30 degrees wide.
That way or that way, it's the same.
Exactly. So what's 1 degree at that stage?
Yeah, you have to have like UHF and many. Yeah, moon bouncing. I don't know.
But yeah, that project was really a challenge and really fun. And those are the Arduino projects I like. Is the ones that you start, you're like, this should be so simple. And the further you get in, you realize just how deep
a rabbit hole. Yeah, it's impossible.
How long has the Arduino been around? When did it first come out?
Oh gosh, 2005.
Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
still going strong.
Yeah, and really, it's moving away from the Uno and Nano now, more into the STM32, which isn't really an Arduino, but it's the same style.
I mean, Arduino. What, in my point of view, Arduino, it's the platform. I mean, it's independent of the hardware itself.
Yeah.
It's something that if it gets into the IDE and use the same way of programming, the same how do you call them, how do you call the programs, the sketches. Yeah. You can compile the sketches into the different hardware. Somebody has a book there.
Somebody's got my new book.
I don't know.
Hey, Glenn, I don't know. I think this is Arduino based. That little receiver that's come out with the SI4732. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not.
No,
yeah.
This is the original. That's what the original looked like.
That's my second. Yeah, that's the original Uno, but that's my second Arduino book.
Well, it's just a stroke of genius for somebody to figure out using the Atmega, for something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, give something to Glenn to think about. You got to give him extra projects to think about now that he's free in the evenings.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a few changes, and I'm going to have a lot more time available in the lab.
So, Glenn, have you seen? There's a radio out that's based. It kind of goes by model SI4732, 4735, but I believe that's a chip number. And it's Joe showed one on the show here a few weeks ago. I'm thinking about ordering one. They're about $60, but
Alan also showed that radio.
It appears. Have you got one there? Oh, it appears that it's it may be Arduino based. You can buy.
Yes, it is Arduino based. Yes,
you can buy this chip on its own shield or something that will plug into an Arduino. That may be something that you want to do. It's a neat little receiver, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Check that out.
Yes, the problem I had with this one is that it was really, I was testing it and it kept on crashing the software.
Oh, really?
So I resetted it and kept on crashing, and then I realized it was the thermostat of an oil heater I have, electric heater, and the thermostat that kept the temperature steady. When it clicked, the radio crashed.
Oh,
so
really? Man.
So I now have to put it inside a metal case because I'm sure it's related, of course, to being like that, right? But I have to also upgrade the firmware because it has the really buggy one that comes from the factory. There are other versions of the.
Well, here's what it looked like. Here's the radio. You can buy it complete, and there's a video of them playing. It sounds really good. It's really small. It runs on like 3.3 volts or something, and it's just a neat low frequency up through shortwave, and I guess even AM FM. But
$30 too.
Yeah,
what?
It looks like that chip goes from 100 kilohertz all the way up to 30 meg.
Well,
apparently does sideband and AM, upper lower sideband.
Yeah, it does. But I think it does FM. If I'm not mistaken,
It does.
Maybe
it
not.
does
Maybe
FM,
not.
yes.
I have to look at this.
It
No,
does
look at the
FM,
specs
yes.
now.
Maybe it's only up to 30.
It does FM. It
Maybe
does indeed do FM.
It does FM, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm thinking about just getting one of these. I mean, hey, that is small. Hey, I can mount that.
$69? I thought that said $600. Wow.
No, I could mount that in my truck and have a little shortwave general coverage receiver in my truck.
Yeah,
You know.
heck yeah.
This is cool.
That's FM from this.
Well, you can get that board. That,
No antenna.
You can get the board that Charlie's showing for $40 from Banggood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get the chip with the shield or something, but look, you get the case, you get everything. I mean, it's all
fun in buying a case
I'm
like
getting
that when
one.
you can build your own.
Because I ain't got time to keep building stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it would look.
I didn't buy the one with the case because I had a remaining. I think I told Alan last time a remaining. It was like $40 on a budget I had, so I had to buy without the case.
Yeah.
Well,
if you can't buy it with a case.
So, there's the back of it. It's got a BNC connector for the antenna. Looks like it's powered. It's powered by a 3.3 volt. It looks like it's powered by a USB connector.
What I'm not clear, and maybe if somebody knows, I don't know if the battery recharges. Oh yes, it says charge. So
hey, look,
maybe yes.
it says FM on here too. I think this thing will pick up the FM band. Look, it says.
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah, I was listening to FM right now.
Oh yeah. So I don't know.
I looked it up, and yes, that chip will do FM.
But it's a metal. It's a nice little metal case. Look,
And
So that's the same thing that you got there, Carlos? That we're
yeah,
looking at?
the same thing.
It's the same thing, except you just got the chip and the shield, I guess, to build your own.
Same thing, and it does RDS and everything. When for the FM.
That is just cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So Glenn, man, you need to take one of those chips there and do something with Arduino and make it do something, man.
Yeah, it's on the list.
You make $1 million.
Maybe we build a little transmitter about the same size as that, and we pair them up.
Well, let me show you something here.
I was interested in the CAT display for the Yaesu. I saw it there in the list of projects of the book.
Yeah.
And that would work, for example, with the FT857.
No, it works with all the.
Yeah, I have an 857 which is not mine. It was given to me by a ham that had to move to. He went to live to Paraguay, and he left the unit with me. But I don't use it because the display is broken. So I cannot. It's the classic problem of that unit. So it's there, but it's a really good equipment. But I'm looking for a way to see the display.
Yeah. Well, here's my next wild and crazy idea.
I have one of those too.
Got it showing on the shared screen.
Yeah.
We're going to add a real receiver board to this, an Arduino, and replace those little LEDs with RGB LEDs. And we're going to have the Arduino, and this thing is actually going to do a real-time scan of all the beacon monitors. And if it can hear them, the way those beacons work is they transmit a low power tone and then a high power tone for X number of seconds. And based on if I hear it, depending on which of the powers, it will turn the LED either green or orange or yellow. And if I don't hear it at all, it'll be red. So that way you can actually literally watch a band be open around the world based on it hearing those beacons.
You know, Glenn, I've got that same thing there. I've listened. The way that works as is there. You put your ham receiver on that frequency, and then you watch the lights. And if you hear the signal come out of your ham receiver, you look at what light is on. And that tells you what part of the world the signal's coming from. But I have had not almost any luck hearing signals. Maybe just because the bands have just been so bad.
Right, but that's why I wanted to put I'm going to put a 20-meter receiver in mine.
Oh, the one you got, Tom, you got to hook it to your radio?
No, that does no. See, the thing about this says beacon monitor. This is not a receiver. It's just a very high accurate time base, and at time base.
Oh, I see. It tells you what
the time base. Active. Yeah, the time base moves that little light around different places in the world, and when that light's on, say in Japan, you have to listen on your ham receiver on that frequency, and if you hear the signal, that means it's coming from Japan. If the light is on, in South America, that means the signal's coming from South America, because they're all synchronized to this.
Yeah, it's strictly nothing more than a light display based on the time when that area is supposed to.
Yeah, but how does it synchronize with the time?
It uses WWV on what is it, 60 kilohertz?
Yeah, the atomic cell. I see there, the atomic cell.
Yeah.
So
or you sync it manually. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it will sync by atomic time, and every beacon has a specific time that it's going to transmit, and that's how it knows which light to light.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Let me put a real receiver, so if it hears it, it will light the light. And that way I can just look at it at any given moment and know if the band's open.
Or put a Raspberry Pi with a little monitor and put WSPR on it.
Yeah, I could go that way, but I don't do Pi, I do Arduino.
Okay.
Yeah.
I leave the Pi for other people.
Yeah.
Well, and this also gives you the frequencies for the time slots for the other bands. I think it has 40, 20, and I don't know. I have to look. I think it's three. It's three bands.
20, 17, 15.
Yeah. So you're only going to put a receiver for like one band in here, right? So.
Yeah, and then 10 meters. So it's 20 through 10.
Yeah.
On your
20 is all that matters when you're a DXer.
Yeah.
That's me. But if you want to know when 15 or 10 is open. I'm either going to do a single band board, or I can use that 4732 receiver of Carlos's there and programmatically control it.
Or maybe an SDR.
Okay, I want to pre-order one.
I got to build it first.
So there you go, that 4732.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got some possibilities to play with.
I'm laughing because at one job I had that problem once. I came up with an idea. I showed it to the boss, and then later in the day he told me, "Okay, I sold 3 of them. Now, when are they ready?"
Yeah.
Well, that's what in my very first book. That's how I came up with the lightning detector. We were at a breakfast with the local ham, and we started talking. Somebody's got a dog, but we were starting to talk about lightning detectors, and those are expensive and everything. And I came home and Googled it, and next thing I know, I found a $25 module for the Arduino that would do the lightning detection. And I'm like, bang, there's the lightning detector.
There you go. Yeah.
And so now for $50 you can build your own lightning.
Guys, that's my pup. I gotta run.
All right, man.
Hey, great thing listening to you guys.
Yeah.
And, Rick. Hope to be back on some other time.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys, we've filled up our show time, and we're off of shortwave already. So I'm thinking I ought to go get me some popcorn or something, man.
Popcorn sounds good.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
You remember Adrian?
Yeah.
He's going to be the speaker for the DX dinner at the New England ALL convention. He lives in New York, so it's only like 4 hours up the road. But he's going to be talking about the Market Reef, the A-Land, and Brando Islands DXpeditions. So I bought the ticket.
Okay, well, cool. Well, he does a lot of one-man and two-man DXpeditions.
I'm telling you, that man, he's all over the world. You never know where he's at.
He does stuff that I would not even attempt. I think the last time we had him on the show, he had just done Bosnia. And he was in a hotel in Bosnia, and you got to be careful in Bosnia because there's some bad dudes running up and down the street with machine guns and bazookas, man. You know.
Yeah.
I'd rather just do a DXpedition from some nice Caribbean island.
Yeah, maybe it gets where we do a DXpedition with a remote radio. You know.
No. You gotta be a beach with your toes in the sand.
Well, wait a minute. You mean? Well, look, I can do it. I can do it right here, man.
There you go.
I can do it right here.
Reminds me of when I was in Guam.
Yeah. Oh man.
If I want to do a DXpedition, but it's going to be on a beach with sand. That's all there is to it.
Huh?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I have also this. I wanted to show because talking about old stuff.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
I have this, and man, I only know that the people that knew how to use this were geniuses. Because before I understand this, the PSAT passes like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
To pass,
you have to get your slide rule out.
Yeah, and you have some sort of transparencies that, of course, I have to study it, but you have to put it on top, and I don't know what.
But we didn't have the internet and computers back then, you know.
And the apps on the phones.
Yeah.
Like, the SAT is there, so I don't know. But this shows how hams used to work.
I worked Oxford 7 with that thing.
Hey, did you guys hear the space station actually had a pretty big emergency this past week? Did y'all hear?
The one with the docking, the thing with the docking with the Russian module.
Yeah,
the module decided to take off on its own.
The Russian module, the engine came on and it ran for like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something.
Wow!
It actually flipped the space station upside down. It moved the space station a little out of orbit and it turned them upside down. But it said it moved it so slow.
Space station's engines fighting against the other ones.
It said it moved so slow they didn't realize that they had turned upside down.
Wow.
I'll have to ask our friend. Here's our friend right here. Let's see. Let me get Doug on here. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll have to ask old Wheels there.
Amateur Radio Roundtable on W5KUB.com. I watch Amateur Radio Roundtable.
He looks so much like our commander. It's scary.
This is Doug Wheelock in my spare time on the space station.
Can you hear him?
Yeah. Okay. Hi, I'm Doug Wheelock in my spare time on the space station.
Too bad he's not going to be able to make Huntsville this year. I love seeing him.
Amateur radio, I tune into W5KUB. Hi, I'm Doug Wheelock, and in my spare time on the space station, I stay connected to planet Earth by listening to amateur radio. I tune into. Why do I say turn into? Hi, I'm Doug Wheelock. In my spare time on the space station,
It took him a while to get it. It took a while.
You know, it doesn't seem like the current astronauts are using that ham radio station at all.
You know, they just got it fixed.
Oh, is that right?
It's been down for a while.
Yeah,
they put a new cable, and the new cable was worse than the old cable, so they went back to the old cable.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Of course, you don't need a very big tower on that thing.
No, but an external cable to the antenna, something really fancy, and it didn't work.
How many times did you talk to him, Tom, just in your car? I've been waiting forever.
Well, I talked to Doug 30 times 1 month, and I talked to him 3 times driving home in my car from work.
Did you ever get the QSL card?
You know, I've got signed pictures and stuff from him here. I've made up some cards with him. And, of course, after that, Doug, you know, and I sent Doug barbecue for his first meal back on Earth.
I remember
you saw that.
Yeah.
And since then, Doug has gone to hunt. He's gone to Dayton with us for 8 years. He was going to try to make Huntsville, but he couldn't make it this time. And, yeah, we've struck up a pretty good friendship. Doug's even stayed here at my home. He a couple years ago, he came to Memphis and stayed here. And it's just so interesting to talk to him and listen to, you know, what he says. You know, it's just amazing. Well, guys, I think I'm going to get out of here. And
I'll say 7-3.
Good night. I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to get out of here, and we'll see you later, guys.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good show, by the way.
Really great show. Great
All
show,
right, thank you, man. Thank
really
you.
Great show. Really good. Hey. Bye.
What's happening here? Huh.